This is Dabu7. It's important to understand that these groups out here globally that are trying to say there's this big climate change underway, you have to understand that a majority of them, with Al Gore involved, point the finger at the masses and say that it's your fault. We as a people are doing all these things to damage the earth, and yes, we should be conscious in what we're doing to help protect the earth, but this is the thing. It's part of a ruse. Here recently, I put out a video on my main channel showing evidence of these ionospheric heaters, of these massive array systems all across the planet, extending down into Antarctica where the grandfather of HAARP sits. Showed it all, how there's a massive ionospheric heater sitting in Puerto Rico, and you wonder how these storms could get fueled. It's sitting right there. It's not conspiracy theory. It's fact. And these installations are all around the globe. So when you can heat up the ionosphere, you can supercharge a storm. It's common sense. And you can do a lot of other things too when you can control the wind patterns, the temperature of water, of a lot of different things. So we now know that they can control these things en masse around the globe. But we're not seeing a huge effort to make things good, are we? We're sure not. They'll build pipelines for oil, but not to run water to an area that needs it. It's taken them a long time just to get on the ball with desalination. We're trying to convert the salt water into useful clean water, which for the longest time they tried to act like, oh, we can't do it, but yet the technology was sitting right there. Others were utilizing it. Now they're having to go down this route in certain cases, just like in California, where they're able to convert the water into usable water. But what we have in other parts of the globe, and this is a recurring theme, is riverways vanishing. This has happened in Russia many times here recently, South America. Now we're seeing in India, where the earth is drying up, and in this instance, it's not just cracks opening up. They show examples of these massive cracks, but they're saying that underground wells are vanishing, that underground reservoirs are depleting, and that there has been a massive earthworm die-off in the Kerala region, and they can't explain why all this is happening. But we're seeing a theme here of extreme weather events. Now, if an area that is used to seeing a lot of water and goes dry, you're going to see the earth crack open and you're going to see animals die. But when you start to see the underground elements affected, like the aquifers, the water table, all that underneath, it drying up and shifting, well, something's going on deep within the earth. If that's the case, it's being drained out into somewhere else. Where to, obviously, we cannot see. But if that's happening, that has nothing to do with some of the things going on here on the above ground side of things. Now, of course, man is injecting fracking water and all kinds of other stuff into aquifers and breaking the earth apart and fracking and doing all those things, yes. But that's not connected to what's happening here. This is a total different event. No fracking involved here. This is on the heels of a massive monsoon. And it makes some speculate that if somewhere in the underground systems there was a massive catacomb or chamber that held a certain amount of water, if the deluge that came through here in May, the pressure that came through with it, if it didn't bust it open somehow underground and make it to where it all drained out into somewhere else. It's a possibility. A lot of different possibilities, a lot of different theories, but regardless of who's right and who's wrong, it keeps happening. And this is the latest in India. So you have to be aware that they have the tools around this globe to affect the weather big time. That's for sure. I'm going to leave a link below. This has been Dabu7.